2 days ago, America didn't just witness a courtroom hearing, it watched a mirror being held up to its culture, its politics, its obsession with celebrity. A movie star, once the embodiment of American heroism, now stood accused not of personal scandal, but of something far more insidious, manipulating national security policy from behind a Hollywood curtain. It all began on a muggy morning in downtown Los Angeles. Reporters crowded the federal courthouse steps like seagulls around a single piece of bread. Microphones, camera rigs, boom poles, all pointed toward one question. Could a man who had saved the world on screen now face accountability in the real one? A black SUV pulled up, and the murmurs turned to shouts. Out stepped Tom Cruise, America's box office champion, jaw clenched, sunglasses low, flanked by his attorneys. He didn't wave. He didn't smile. He wasn't performing today. He was showing up to survive. Inside the courtroom, seated calmly at the government's table, was Cash Patel, former intelligence official, legal hawk, and now the face of an investigation that had become a national obsession. He didn't glance at Cruz. He didn't need to. The facts he believed would do the talking. Just 48 hours before, Patel had walked into a congressional hearing room with a suitcase full of classified memos and one chilling message. This is not about entertainment. This is about power. And the man we've entrusted with the illusion of strength may have used that illusion to influence real-world military policy. The public didn't know what to believe. Cruz's face had been on fighter jets, in spacesuits, leaping from buildings and dodging explosions. He was the American archetype. The thought that his stardom had morphed into shadow lobbying sent tremors through both Hollywood and Washington. Patel, in a blunt interview on MSNBC, laid it out. This man blurred the line between performance and power. He played a hero on screen. Then he tried to become one off it, without election, without accountability. Cruz's legal team struck back fast, calling the accusations fictional nonsense, the desperate ramblings of a man seeking a spotlight. But then the leaks began. Documents, audio tapes, emails, a trail of connections between Cruz's production company and defense contractors, quiet dinners with Pentagon officials, contributions to obscure lobbying firms advocating for drone policy reforms during the production of his latest sci-fi war film. Then came the DOJ, a $100 million fine. Not just punishment, but a message. Even the brightest stars could fall. Inside the courtroom, cameras weren't allowed. But America didn't need live footage. It had TikToks, tweets, and split-screen edits. One side, Cruz running atop a moving train in an action sequence. The other, him walking solemnly into the courthouse. The caption read, "From hero to headline." The prosecution wasted no time. The opening statement was a hammer blow. This is not about movies. This is about manipulation. This is about access bought with fame, used without permission. Tom Cruise didn't flinch. But as the exhibits piled up, his stillness began to look less like confidence and more like shock. The voice memo hit the hardest. A scratchy audio file leaked from a private conversation in which Cruz is heard chuckling. Guys like Patel don't get how this country works. It's not about permission, it's about access. That's what I have. That's what matters. Cable news looped the quote. Social media carved it into stone. Memes, videos, think pieces, all centered around those 5 words. That's what matters. Patel went on Newsmax that night. Quiet, composed, controlled. If access is all that matters, we've lost democracy, he said. You can play a soldier all you want. That doesn't give you the right to sit in on classified briefings. Protests swelled outside the courthouse. Veterans waving signs that read, "Real heroes don't need scripts." Supporters of Cruz claiming the charges were political. The country was split, not over guilt, but over whether celebrity itself had become a kind of unregulated authority. And then, the documents arrived. A whistleblower from Cruz's company released internal memos showing direct communication with foreign consultants linked to military lobbying. Cruz's team called it research. Patel called it treasonous branding. Lobbying in costume, he said. You don't get to rewrite policy just because your name sells tickets. The courtroom turned hostile. Cruz's lawyers objected to nearly every new piece of evidence, but the judge let it in. emails, meeting notes, records of Cruz appearing at high-level military briefings, despite no clearance, all coinciding with the pre-production of his film about AI warfare. A cybersecurity expert testified that the movie's themes were later echoed in white papers from defense lobbying groups that had received donations from Cruz's foundation. On day 4, Cruz looked like a man cornered. His defense team shifted strategy, painting him not as powerful, but patriotic. He was advocating, not directing, sharing perspective, not imposing will, they said. But then Patel took the stand. He didn't perform. He didn't raise his voice. He just walked the jury through flight logs, dates, donations, messages, calls. Every data point was a nail. This isn't a conspiracy theory, Patel said. It's a case study in how image becomes access and access becomes influence, all without a vote, a vetting, or a mandate. The press dubbed it the Hollywood Doctrine. Outside, things changed. A wax museum took down Cruz's figure overnight. A major sponsor pulled out of his next film. Industry insiders began whispering. Cruz wasn't just powerful, he had become obsessed. Then came the leak that shattered the silence in Washington. A file submitted in secret to the Federal Ethics Committee leaked to the press. It connected Cruz's company to a foreign group allegedly seeking access to U.S. satellite defense protocols, right as he filmed a thriller about global surveillance. A bipartisan group of senators called for a federal probe. Patel released a video. No music, no filter. Just him walking out of the Ethics Committee chamber, a single line in the caption. If you wanted to act like a policymaker, you should have run for office. It went viral. Not trending, viral, like wildfire across every platform. The judge rejected Cruz's request for a media gag order. You can't unhear the truth, she said. A Department of Defense advisor took the stand. He testified that Cruz had attended secure briefings without clearance or authorization, sitting quietly, observing, later replicating details in scripts and dialogues. The room gasped. By day 6, the House Oversight Committee announced a formal review, not just of Cruz, but of the growing overlap between Hollywood and military messaging. Patel, now on Capitol Hill, warned senators, "Fame has become trust, and we never asked what that trust was built on." He ended with a chilling line. You don't need a cape to change policy anymore. You just need a camera and access. By day 10, the jury had not yet returned a verdict. But outside the courtroom, the verdict was clear. America had moved on from the myth of untouchable fame. Tom Cruise sat alone, not acting, not charming, not powerful. Just a man, watching his legacy collapse like the final scene in a film no one wanted to make. And across the country, 3 words blazed across every screen, from Instagram to the evening news, a quiet, final judgment. The stunts are over. And as the courthouse doors closed behind him, Tom Cruise wasn't the only one facing judgment. In a nation obsessed with celebrity, where power can be packaged in box office receipts and truth is filtered through fame, this case wasn't just about one man. It was about us. Do we still believe in accountability, even when it wears a familiar face? Do we still know the difference between fiction and influence? Or have we handed the keys to our institutions to those who know how to play the part, even when the cameras stop rolling? One thing's clear now. The curtain doesn't just fall in theaters. Sometimes it falls in real life. And when it does, all that's left behind is the truth. If you want more stories that peel back the stage lights and show you the raw fight for truth in America, don't forget to subscribe to Hill Stories. Hit the like button, ring the bell, and stay with us, because the next chapter might just begin where the last one ended. Hill Stories, where the drama is real.